Well, it's a new year, and that means it's time for another bank tour. Today, I will be covering my collection log, the Seed Vault, Slayer Kill log, and I've also prepared a surprise opening to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers. For those who are new and just stumbled upon my channel, let's first give you a proper introduction. I am the rank 3 overall hardcore Ironman with just shy of 2.7 billion experience. I've collected 26 pets, including the Bloodhound, Dark Core, and my personal favorite, the Callisto Cub. I have 5 200 mils and front page on the high scores in 21 out of 23 skills. In the past 5 years, I have played for 30,000 hours and managed to slay over 50,000 bosses without dying. My highest kill count is 20,000 Hydra, and I hold the rank 1 position in Calphite Queen, Abyssal Sire, and the Thermonuclear Smoke Devil, and just recently passed 100 million Slayer experience. You may be familiar with the Hardcore Ironman Death's Twitter account, a tool that notifies when the top-ranking Hardcore Ironmen die. If I were to be among those listed, and we ignore the 280 character limit, this is what you could expect to see. As always, subscribe if you're new, and smash the like button. Enjoy the video. So these last few days, I've been slowly organizing my bank. It's been a while since we've made a bank video. The last one was a year and a half ago. And since then, I haven't been using any of my supplies. I've just been collecting it up, and I wanted to do a bank video at the end of the year before I used it all, so we could see what we've managed to collect. So it's going to be, quite a bit of herb, construction, a little bit of construction, and some prayer. But yeah, a lot has changed with my account since the last bank video. We have a lot more uniques, we've done a lot more bosses, got a lot of more pets. Before we jump into the bank, I'm just quickly going to go over the account summary. There's a few things I wanted to cover. Just quests. I have 153 out of 155 quests. The two that I'm missing are the 2 quests that were just recently added, the Garden of Death and Sleeping Giants. So I have done DS2, Dragon Slayer 2, and Song of the Elves. I think right after I uploaded the bank video, there was a bunch of comments about not doing the Dragon Slayer 2 and Song of the Elves, so then I just went out and did it, got my quest cape. But since then, they've added a few more quests, and I just don't feel like doing those. Alright, next we have the Achievement Diaries, and I have not completed the Kandarin one. I just don't really care for any of the perks that it offers. Maybe I'll just complete it someday, just for the completion's sake. But yeah, and the other one I haven't completed is obviously the Wilderness. Don't really feel like going in the Wilderness right now. I got some other goals, and next thing is just the playtime, 1,212 days. Now a lot of that is AFKing. I probably play more than half the time I'm playing the game. It's probably on my phone, on Chrome Remote Desktop, just AFKing while either playing another game or out and about at school when I was in school, or now either at work. So it's definitely not the most efficient 1,212 days. So this year we've past 2.5 Bill XP. Hopefully next year we will pass 3 Bill XP. Combat tasks, so I've only completed 163. Haven't gone out of my way and done any of them at all. I'm sure one day I'll go and do that, but for now, don't really care to. I'm sure I can try to get up to Elite done or up to Hard done. So my top boss is the Alchemical Hydra. I'm wondering what everyone else's top boss is. I'm curious what everyone else. What's your favorite boss? Mine's the Hydra. And I'm just gonna jump right into the bank. Now, the first thing I want to say is I have all these god eggs here. 200. It's like what, 700 god eggs. I'm gonna be opening these at the very end of the video. So if you'd like to see if I can roll that evil chicken outfit, I haven't used like any eggs at all yet. I guess if you want to see if I get that evil chicken outfit, then stay to the end of the video. Since we hit 1,000 subscribers, I wanted to do something, and it's either use my bird eggs, or use my totem pieces, or use my crystal keys. But unfortunately, using the totem pieces will take forever, and using the crystal keys, I don't have the crystal shards right now to turn them into these enhanced crystal keys. Alright, so this is the bank. You can see the total value is just shy of 9.7 billion now. I'd like to try to focus for the next year on just getting my bank value up. Something I will mention is that I haven't dropped any of my uniques on the account. Arcane Prayer Scrolls and Slayer dupes, they're all still on the account. I haven't dropped anything over. This is the front page of our bank. I've took some inspiration from Sebe. The one tab I'm not good at is the front page, and this is somewhat what his kind of looked like. Runes on the side, and your teleports and stuff on the right side. So I've taken a little bit of inspiration there, and I've stuck my eggs in here, but I'll move those out later. We have the air rune stacks. I tried to get 100k at least of every basic runes, so the air runes, fire runes, earth runes, and the water runes. We've used up a lot of our wrath runes, running low on that. We're going to have to go back, craft some more wrath runes for the Arceus spellbook. All runes, we're getting close to 100k, and we have over 100k soul runes, 200k blood runes. The only thing I use blood runes for is just casting ancient spells and doing inferno tasks, so I don't really go through that many blood runes. The rune I'm most proud of is my astral rune stack, which is from my 20,000 Hydra. From 20,000 Hydra, it's about 500,000 of each rune. So that's where I've gotten about 500,000 astral runes from. I've used a bit doing the sand spell and stuff. This year TOA came out and we upgraded our rune pouch within a couple days after release. Also Guardians of the Rift came out, so we also have now the upgraded pouch, the colossal pouch. So we also have the Dracon's Medallion, which is charged with the sleep teleport, because we have done Phosani's Nightmare, got the teleport. But yeah, it's a bit for the first tab. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the coins. We passed 1 bill GP this year, and we're well on our way to 2 bill GP. This year I'm probably going to make an effort to use a bunch of the GP. I think the first buyable skill I'm going to work on is probably fletching, just because how it's 0 time right now. It's not really an update they could put out that could nerf that method. A little bit of con, I think there's 100 or 200 mil GP I still need to use for construction, and maybe 20-30 mil or something for Herbalore. But yeah, the majority I want to use the coins for fletching. Smithing I've never really done, but smithing I haven't really done at all, but I'm just banking on some new smithing mining hybrid update that's just gonna break smithing and make it, Giant's Foundry was all right, but I'm thinking more of something that's a mix of mining and smithing, where you do a bit of both. It's maybe a mini game, maybe some other type of thing, but I could see them adding some update that buffs both of those, so I've just been avoiding that. Let's go into the pets tab first. I just wanted to cover the pets that we've gotten this year, because there are 9 new pets. Alright, my most recent pet is the Temperos pet, which we got just before getting 200 mil fishing. Yeah, so I went to Temperos around 170 mil XP, because I think the driest someone has ever gone for the Temperos pet was 30 mil XP. So I didn't want to be doing post 200 mil fishing at Temperos. I was doing it, when I had the free time, or when I was on lunch break at work. All right, another new pet we got was the Supreme Dagonoth pet, which is our second Dagonoth pet. We got both of these under rate by quite a bit. We also got the Soul Wars pet, also under rate. That pet took a couple hours. So we also got the Nightmare pet. We got 2 of them actually in sub 200 Phosani's Nightmare KC. We got the Metamorphosis. We got the Thermi pet finally. That only took us 14,500 kills. We also got the KBD pet, sub 600 KC. And for the skilling pets, we got the Rock pet. Also got a ton of Heron pets this year. That's all I've been doing. Most of my AFK time is spent fishing. We have 10 beavers. The few things that are missing from my collection log are the pets. Getting to 200 mil thieving, I got about 10 Rockies, or 10 or 9 Rockies. And since then I've gotten 4 more. So I've gotten 4 Rockies post 200 mil. Don't ask why I'm thieving post 200 mil. Mostly master farmers, a bit of stalls. We have 9 nickel hydra pets. We got 2 hell puppies. But yeah, so we had 9 pets this year. And for next year, I'd really like to try to get this Abyssal Protector, get the Seracnus pet. I'd like to get the Smolcano pet. I'd like to finally get the Tangleroot pet. We're almost 100 mil farming without it. The Dagonoth Prime pet, as well as the Nibbler. I have 68 Inferno KC, still no Nibbler. I also haven't gambled most of my capes. You'll see they're all still in the bank, or half of them are still in the bank. So I'd like to also get the Calphite Princess. A goal of 7 or 8 more pets for next year. So that's it for the pets. We have 26 out of 51. Next, we'll move on to the gear tab, which is what I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for. This year, TOA released the new Missouri outfit. Prior to TOA being out, I didn't have Armadillo. I still don't have Armadillo. As you can see, this Missouri is unupgraded. It's a regular Missouri. In the last few months, I started doing Armadillo tasks. I finally started moving over to doing Durdell instead of Konar. I have 161 KC, I have nothing to show. My previous Ironman had 450 Kriar KC. That's like over 600 KC I've done on my Ironman and haven't gotten a single drop. So hopefully my Armadillo luck turns around and we can get this Missouri set upgraded. And we also have a few Ancestral sets. We completed Ancestral pretty early on. We have Inquisitor's top and 2 Inquisitor's plate skirts. We got 3 of those in 682 KC, as well as we got the Nightmare Staff. So we're still missing the helmet, and we're still missing the mace and all the orbs. For Bandos, I have the Bandos chestplate, 4 tassets, and also have the hilt, so I have the Bandos God Sword completed. And then my favorite stack, the Brimstone rings, Hydra leathers, and all the Hydra claws. And if we price check the Hydra claw stack, 727 mil in Hydra claws. We have 184 mil in Hydra leathers. We have 94 mil worth of Brimstone rings. We also have 8 extra sets here. I just haven't turned them into rings. I like the look of having the 6 here, and they're color coded. But yeah, I've kept those. I haven't upgraded those yet. Next, we have the 34 Inferno capes. Like I said, I still don't have the Inferno pet, and I have a bunch of capes. But I don't want to gamble them because I'm going to be doing Inferno to 200 mil Slayer regardless. So I don't really see a point of using up all my capes when I'm probably going to get the pet from completing the task. So I'd rather just build up a nice Infernal cape stack. Got the Twisted Bow, got that a while ago. That's been a huge upgrade. It definitely helped for all the Hydra kills we've done. We have the Elder Maul, missing the Kodai. I just started hybriding all the Jagannath Kings, so in the next year, I hope to get a huge stack of rings going. Right now, we have 3 or 4 of each, but I'd love to get 100 of each. We've done over 1,000 Corp. I think this year we did 100 more Corp. We started the year at 950, now we have 1,050. And didn't see any new uniques this year from Corp. If you didn't know from before, we have 2 Arcane Sigils, 2 Spectral Sigils. I've turned 2 into the shields and kept 2 extra ones. So in 2023, I hope to go back to TOA and get this Arcane Shield upgraded. And then we also have a bunch of Slayer staffs. Because I have over 100 mil Slayer, we also have a ton of Slayer staffs. So we have 28 Dust staffs, 16 Mist staffs, and 24 Smoke battle staffs. We also have the Dragon Full Helm. Got that fairly early on, I think around 30 mil Slayer. I've been doing Myth Drags the entire time and managed to get that. We also have a bunch of Dragon Axes. We have 4 Mystic Dusk hats. We're missing the legs. We're missing the row bottoms. So that's 4 out of 5 of the Dust set complete. Around 1,300 Brimstone keys used so far. We have 6 tentacles. We have a bunch of Abyssal Whips. How much are these whips worth? We have 188 mil in Abyssal Whips. Got a bunch of Dark Bows. And we have a bunch of Occult Necklaces, and then we have some Abyssal Daggers, and then from Slayer we've gotten a bunch of Dragon Spears and a bunch of Shield Left Halves, and then 3 Eternal Gems and 3 Imbued Hearts. And as we move down here, it's going to get less and less organized, and I'll have less things to show. We have some Fire Capes here. Won't cover everything now, but some Alks still to do. Some Dragon Elks. We have the new gems from TOA. What I'd love to get over the next year is maybe an Ellie. Maybe we'll try our luck at Corp. You can't really bank on getting an Ellie. It's so rare. But maybe I'll do 100, 200 KC here or there. Love to complete the shield set. That'd be great. I plan on doing a bunch of more Sire as we try to get the Sire pet. So I'm going to build up these bludgeons. We have 4 bludgeons right now. I still have to turn those into bludgeons. Alright, next we'll go into the herb tab. So these herbs I've been farming for the last year and a half, and I've collected as much as I can. I haven't done any herb, so we have 1.1 bill worth of herbs. I have turned some into the unfinished, so we have 6,700 unfinished here of the Canatine. We have some Irits unfinished too, and that's just because going a year and a half without making any potions, you're going to run out eventually. We have 78,000 Irits. If you add these 2,800, you got over 80,000 Irits. 41,000 Quorum, 36,000 Avanto, 28,000 Dwarfweed. We have 27,000 Catentine, 26,000 Lantodime, 24,000 Toadflax, 23,000 Snapdragon, 15,000 Renar, and 13,000 Torstal. When I was really low in seeds, we used to also farm Harlander, but I haven't really done much of that lately. Most of this is probably just from picking it up during my Slayer tasks, as well as these Terramins and Marintils, just picking up on Slayer tasks with your herb pouch, and it just kind of adds up. Yeah, for our secondaries, we have enough Eyes of Newts. We have 118,000 of those. We don't have enough Limp Roots, but we have been farming those, so I should have those in the next few months. White berries probably don't have enough either. For the snapgrass, I plan on using the snapgrass with the Aventos instead of the Mortmire fungus. Making the fishing potion is 112.5 XP, which is like 5 XP less than the super energy potions. So it's 5 XP less, but then I don't have to spend countless hours getting Mortmire fungus. Instead, I can just farm snapgrass during my farm runs. We just get nests from doing birdhouse runs. I'm not the most strict with doing birdhouse runs and farm runs. As you can see, I have a birdhouse run and farm run available right now, and I haven't done them. And I do them when I have time and I feel like it. And you know, it adds up over time. And potato cactus, we've gotten 18,000 potato cactus and 11,000 wine of Zamorak. Doing 4,000 KQ, we've gotten a bunch of that. And then we have the goat horn and desert goat horns from Corp and whatever else drops that. Don't know. And then the Mortmire fungus, only 4,000 of that. And then volcanic ash, which I use for my Harlander to make compost pots. Then I turn the compost pots into super compost, then turn those into ultra compost. And that's why I have the buckets here. I use the buckets for farm runs. I don't like using the volcanic farm spell thing. I just like using my bucket. That's what I've always used, and it's easy enough. I don't have to figure out runes when I do a farm run. It's just the way I've always loved doing it. And the caviar is here because the caviar, for those that don't know, you can turn potions. I think it's like you take a 2-dose potion, and you can turn it into a barbarian mix. And the barbarian mix gives you some herbal XP when you use the caviar on the 2-dose potion. So from the caviar alone, I should have 18.6 mil XP. It's not all from this stack here. I also have some sturgeon still to cut because these caviars come from sturgeon. So I have some sturgeon in my next tab, which you'll see. And if I cut up all those sturgeon and turn them into caviar, then we're going to have around 18.6 mil herb XP in the caviar alone. And the herb XP total is 44 mil. All this is 44 mil herb, and then this is 18 mil herb. So we're looking at enough herb to get us from 37 mil to 100 mil XP. Obviously, I won't be able to use exactly everything because, you know, we're not going to get probably all those vines of Zamorak. There's some secondaries that we probably won't be getting, but if I use everything I have in this bank right now, it'll take us to 100 mil herb. All right, so going down the list here, we also got a bunch of buckets from doing Hespori. We have 414 KC. I don't do Hespori too often. I think I have Hespori ready right now and I haven't done it. It's a little annoying doing Hespori because I have to set up my hotspot in case my internet goes out while I'm doing Hespori. I don't want to DC and die to Hespori, so I have to set up my backup internet and do all that. So it gets it's a whole big effort just to do a Hespori kill. So often I just don't do it. And then we also have we have our vial waters and empty vials. Got 100k of each of those, and some marks of grace, which we've gotten from doing Arty Laps. And then some analyzed crystals so we can turn some super energies into stamina pots. These are just our jug of wines. We've made quite a bit of jug of wines from the grapes that we've gotten from KQ, and also I guess Thermi drops grapes too. So that's where we've got a bunch of our cooking from. We have enough cooking here, if you include the other fish I have, to get 200 mil cooking. Right now we're at 194.6 mil cooking. So if I use all those grapes and some of the other stuff in my fish tab, I'll have 200 mil cooking. So I have that banked. I just got to go and do it. Not really much else to talk about. It's just a bunch of seeds and stuff because when I do my birdhouse runs, I just bank the nests and I open them, and I don't want to have to run to my seed vault or make room in my bank. So I just have it all set up here where everything from those will just go into the bank. I don't have to reorganize my bank. So I just keep an empty slot of those always. And then we also have some jute fibers here. I want to use the rest of these jute fibers into drift nets so I can finish off 200 mil fishing. Also, when you do drift net fishing, you collect a lot of spores because you're underwater. So you get a ton of spores from that. So I have enough spores to get 200 mil crafting as well. My goals for the next year is to use up all of this herb supply and get 100 mil herb. If I don't have 100 mil herb by the next bank video, that'll be sad. All right, next we have the fishing tab. All right, this is the fishing and supply tab. So we have 544,000 Koromboans. We have 194,000 sharks. Way back when, before they buffed the Korombon fishing, I was fishing minnows, and I had done 99 fishing as well as 99 cooking. Post 99 fishing, I did a bit of minnows as well. So I managed to get the 10 mil minnow stack, and that's about 250,000 sharks. In the last 5 years I played the account, I've used like over 50,000 sharks. And we also have 20,000 anglers, which I use mostly for Corp and Nightmare, just those bosses that have those really high hits. And we also have a bunch of sea turtles, as well as tuna and oysters and anchovies and sardines. That's because drift net fishing gives you a bunch of these random fish. So I had like 10k or so of each of these. And then our sturgeon stack, as well as our other leaping fish stack. At Barbarian Fishing, we've done over 100 mil XP and banked all of the fish. So we have 513k leaping trout, 416k leaping salmon, and 290k leaping sturgeon. Now, there's not really a use to leaping trout and leaping salmon, so this is just a cool trophy to sit in the bank. But the sturgeon we can use. Like I said, we can cut up the sturgeon, turn them into caviar. That yields like 15 cooking XP also. So that's like 4 or 5 mil cooking XP in leaping sturgeon. So that's going to get us well on our way to 200 mil cooking. So that's also going to help with that. So that and the grapes will be 200 mil cooking. And to cut them up, you just take a knife and use them on them. You have to use a knife on each one of them one at a time. And you can do it pretty quickly. Like you can spam click it. Next, we'll talk about the brews. We have 17,000 brews. Going to have a lot more once we make all our potions. We have almost 8,000 stamina. Over 1,000 super combats. We're starting to run out of those. We have a bunch of magic pots, which I won't really ever use. We have a ton of super attacks, defense, and ranging pots. A bunch of prayer pots. Something I'm running low on is restores. So that's probably one of the first things I'm going to do with Herblore is make those restores, which you probably saw we don't have any red spider eggs. So I'm going to go to Arachnis, get all the red spider eggs from that, and then use that to make the super restores. I don't want to do Spidines when I can kill Arachnis. I still don't have that pet, so I can go for that also. Also don't have the jar, so it's another jar to collect. And then moving down, this is just a bunch of uncooked fish that we're probably never going to cook. These are my Nightmare Zone pots, the absorption pots, and the super ranging pots. But yeah, that's it for the supply tab. It's worth 778 mil. And then moving on, next is our ammunitions and alch tab. Here we have all our dragon knives from Hydra, as well as our throwing axes, a bunch of feathers for barbarian fishing, and soon we'll turn them into headless arrows, which we can use to turn them into broad arrows. I need over 10 mil more feathers, as well as I need a few more arrow shafts. I need to buy all of my broad arrow tips, which will cost probably like $1 billion, and we can get 2 mil fletching. Then next we have the amethyst arrow tips, which we still have to turn into the arrows. We have 20k arrows here, so over 100k in amethyst. Dragon darts, which I use for speed run stuff if I'm doing like a fight caves PB or something, or some type of bingo where I need to do a speed run. I'll use those. We have the amethyst darts, which I use for everything. I don't really use any of my other darts anymore. I have 300k myth darts here, which I'll never ever use. I made those well before amethyst ever existed. And then for onyx bolts, we have a bunch of those. We still need the alch. This is worth, how much is this worth? 12 mil. So we have 12 mil in alchs and onyx bolts. We have a bunch of dragonstone bolts, which we can also sell to the store. And then some runite bolts, which we can sell to the store too. And a bunch of alchs. There's probably like 100 mil total in alchs if you include the dragon armor pieces I still have in alch. Almost 1 million headless arrows. Probably have to go back to red chins eventually and get that chin pet. Finish off all the skilling pets. I think that's about it for this tab. We can move on to our ores and gem tab. All the crafting supplies and smithing supplies are all here. We have 1900 runite ore, which is about 22 mil, so that's probably like 22 mil in alchs there, just from turning that into the bars, turning that into the two-handed swords. We also have some adamant ore, as well as made a bunch of adamant bars. I don't know when I did that. I didn't even know I had this here, but I guess at some point I made adamant bars and never used them. And then 57k silver ore. All this gold ore is from random Slayer bosses that I've done. Okay, some of them have that on their drop table. And then we have some gems, about 4k of each gem, 3k diamonds, and we have cut up a bunch of them. We have 17,000 cut sapphires, over 5,000 of each other cut gems. These will be mostly from selling chaos runes to the Tazar shop, buying gems with those Tokul, and then just cutting them up. Also from the gem sack and, during Slayer and during Amethyst and stuff. Also got gems while I was mining Dale. And then we also have 2 onyxes and 4 onyxes from Tecton. We have 1.4 mil, almost 1.5 mil empty light orbs. This is what we've used to get 134 mil crafting XP. First you take your giant seaweed and then you mine buckets of sand and then turn that into molten glass, and then turn the molten glass into the empty light orbs. 3 extra threads from TOA. That's about it for the crafting supply and smithing supply tab. Next we have the prayer tab as well as the runecrafting tab, and I guess a bit of crafting too. It's a mix of everything. Got some nails for doing sepulcher. So first let's talk about the Dale. We have 4.9 million Dale, which I think it's about 24 XP, 23 XP or something per Dale. So we have at least 100 mil runecrafting in Dale Essence, which will take us to 130 mil or so runecrafting. If we use all that, we'd use it at ZMI. We do fletching while we're doing it, so if we do those together, we can get 130 mil runecrafting as well as 200 mil fletching at the same time. And next we have 13,000 Hydra bones. We also have 1,200 Dagonoth bones, which is one of my goals for this year, is to get a bunch of those stacked up. I don't know if I'll be doing prayer this year. Prayer is one of those skills I want to hold off on, because if I do eventually die, I want to take advantage of using the Wildy altar. Right now I have to use the altar in the house, the gilded altar, which is less XP. It's about half the XP as the Wildy altar. So if I do eventually die, I'd rather have all my bones then, so I can get an extra 20 or 40 mil prayer XP from that. And we also have 48,000 dragon bones from Slayer, and also Hydra drops those. We also have some mahogany logs. I have 200 mil wood cutting, so I won't be able to cut any more mahogany logs to get 200 mil construction. So this is all from Miscellaneous. I have my Miscellaneous maxed on mahogany logs. If I wanted more effective XP, I probably should have it maxed on teak, because teak, although it's slower to do, I'd be getting more XP per day from Miscellaneous for construction. But I don't want to do teak mahogany homes, so we're going to be doing mahogany planks. And we have a bit of teak logs. This is probably from Fossil Island wyverns. And then we have redwoods, which I did cut to 200 mil. So I have a bunch of redwoods still left over. I fire maked over 200k redwoods to get 200 mil fire making. So that's mostly where my redwoods went. Hopefully don't add redwood planks with some new update, so I'm not screwed over there. I used the redwood logs on my birdhouses, so when I run out of those, I'm going to have to go to magic logs, which we've gotten from, I don't know where. Does mold drop magic logs? I'm not sure. Not sure where those all came from. Maybe brimstone chests? We also have 2,200 abyssal ashes. Every time I kill abyssal sire, it drops an ash, so I bank it. So that's all our abyssal ashes. Right now we have 2,382 sire KC, so that's where all the ashes came from. We have some redwood shields. I guess I did cut up a few of my redwood logs into redwood shields at some point with the plan of alching them. I have a bunch of Celestious bark from all the Celestious trees we've done for our contracts and stuff, so we'll turn those into battle staves. We have 11,000 battle staves here. Then add some orbs to those and get some crafting XP. Yeah, so that's about it. We have some blood essence from TOA, which is, I didn't even notice we had. That's pretty good. So if we ever want to craft some blood runes, which probably won't be ever, we'll have extra blood runes from that. So that's it for the prayer, construction, and whatever tab. Next, it's worth around 400 mil. So next we'll move on to the random gear tab and Slayer miscellaneous tab. We got a bunch of jars. This is all from Slayer. We have 17 jars of chemicals from Hydra, 6 jars of smokes from Thermi, 2 jars of sands from KQ, and then one of the other jars, I have 3 jars of miasma too from Abyssal Sire. Now we have 350 of each totem piece, which we can use at Scotizo and then try to get the Jar of Darkness, which just got the updated rate. We also have the Tooth Halves, which we can turn into the Crystal Keys, so over 1,200 Crystal Keys. If we do some Volcano this year, get some Crystal Shards, we can open up all those enhanced Crystal Elven chests and try to get the Dragonstone armor. Next we have a bunch of recoil rings as well as sapphire rings and stuff we've gotten from birdhouses. We have some champion scrolls and some binding necklaces from Sire, some slaughter bracelets and expedious bracelets for Slayer 2. We have some rings of endurances. We got 4.8 mil Tokel from doing the Inferno tasks, as well as we have some Lizardman fangs from raids. some crystal shards from doing Slayer. And then moving down, there's not really much else to talk about. There's a bunch of Pyromancer sets from getting 200 mil fire making. Everything else doesn't really matter too much. We got a bunch of heads here, I guess, 34 KQ heads. Anyone need a KQ head? I got a bunch of those. We have some Hydra heads, 13 Abbey Demon heads, 5 Basilisk heads. We also got some sold heads we can use here for prayer. That's also some extra prayer there. And then we have the KBD heads, 5 of those. That's about it for the bank, actually. This tab is my unorganized tab of clues crap, and then this is my pet tab. So that's it for the bank. I guess quickly we can go through the collection log. I've never been much of a clogger, so we only have 470 out of 1430. Here's the Hydra log if you haven't seen it yet from the Hydra video. This is the log from that. We have the Sire log here. Callisto I did ages ago, and I got the pet from that. We have the Dragon Pickaxe as well. Got one of those from Callisto and one of those from KBD. And then Cerberus, only done 206 KC. We have still missing a bunch of crystals. Moving down, haven't done really any wildy stuff. Oh, here's from my corp log, just missing the Elysian Sigil. Dagonoth Kings, which all I'm missing is the Prime Pet. Inferno, 68 KC, still no pet. 68 Infernal Capes. Hopefully I'm rank 3 right now, so hopefully I either get rank 1 or get the pet sometime soon. Calphite Queen, missing the pet. That's one of my goals, to go get that. From KBD, we're missing the Visage, which I still haven't gotten from Slayer. Moving down here, next I'd like to do, but to do next I need to do Kriara first, because I want to get my updated Missouri armor so I have increased defenses for next. So I want to, this is all relying on getting the Armadillo pieces, and then I can go to next. And I'd love to do some next KC and try to get the upgraded Torva stuff. Temperos, we have everything completed except for the Harpoon, so I might unblock worm tasks and try to get the Harpoon from that. And then Zolcano, that's one of my goals for this year, is to try to get the Zolcano pet. Don't care too much about Crystal Tool Seed or Zolcano Shard. My main focus is to get that pet. So I'd like to go for that. As well, while doing that, I'll get a bunch of steel bars, which I can use those steel bars for Mahogany Homes. And from Solra, 2100 kills. 2100 kills, no Tanzanite mutagen, and no magma mutagen. Quickly go through raids. Chambers of Xeric. I'd like to go back and try to do some CMs, as well as get 1,000 Chambers of Xeric regular KC, and work towards completing this log. The one thing about TOB is you need to have friends. Every other raid here I can solo. I've done all of this solo. I've maybe done like 2 sub raids, but this is all solos. All my CMs are solos. And then Tombs of a Masket, everything is solo. 190 solos. I've gotten 3 Missouri pieces and the Fang. So I've gotten 4 purples in 190 KC. This was pre-nerf, when they nerfed the rates. I done this right on release. TOB, I haven't really done any other than the entry mode. Unfortunately, the one issue about this raid is you can't really solo it. You know, some people have soloed it, obviously, but you can only do one. You can't realistically do thousands or hundreds of KC solo. So I have to do it in a group. I have to get friends. I have to get friends I can trust, friends that I could, rely on to save me if I DC, to use the crystal on me. But, right now, just haven't gone and done it yet. I do know how to do TOB though. I have 900 KC of TOB on my Ironman. So I have done TOB before. I've done quite a bit. I did it like on release, but I haven't done any in probably like a year now. So I'd have to de-rust a little bit, practice. I'd be willing to go to TOB eventually. I just don't really have that, that strong group of friends that, that would die for me and, like protect me at all costs and keep me alive, I did all of my 900 KC on my Ironman at 416, all of it. I did all of it on 416, probably like 2 or 3 duos with a friend, but that was it. It was all 416. That's just where I lived. Realistically, I can't really do 416 from 0 KC on a hardcore. That's just not gonna work. Clues, I'm not a clue guy, unfortunately. I don't do clues. Maybe someday I'll care about this, but yeah, I just don't do clues. A lot of them take you to the wilderness. Elite clues, not as many of them take you to the wilderness, so I have done 24 of those, but masters also take you to the wilderness, and they also have so many steps that I can't do. So let's look at the total contracts that we have done. Let's go here. How many farming contracts have I completed? I've completed 6,426, which for how long I played is actually not a lot compared to a lot of the other skillers. I'm not that good at doing them. I just kind of do 2 or 3 a day, you know, it just kind of adds up. The seed vault were 323 mil. I keep most of my seeds in here, and mainly I have my Loomfruit seeds favorited, as well as some kind of herb seed, which is my current one I'm using for farm runs. Then I have the palm and Celestris, and then the watermelon seeds and ivy. I keep these because I use them the most often for my pre-plants. And then going into the rest of the seeds, I'll just go over this. I won't read everyone out, but that's the allotments. Herbs, don't got a lot of herb seeds. I got a bunch of dwarf, but I won't really use those. I don't do enough regular slayer, so I don't get a lot of seeds. I do a lot of boss slayer, so I use a lot of my seeds and I don't get enough back. I'm very low on hop seeds right now, so pretty much whenever I go into the farming guild, I buy some seeds from Amelia. She's got a full stock right now, so I'll buy those to try to keep up those. And then bushes, yeah, trees, yep, fruit trees, a bunch of that there. Almost 1,000 palm trees, exotic, bunch of celestial seeds that I can plant and then cut, get the bark, and then alk, so some money I can get from there. I mainly only use Iozor seeds, so as you can see I have a ton of Attas and a ton of Chronos. That's it for the seed vault. It's for 323 mil. Yeah, it's about that time that we open up our eggs, I believe. So let's see if we get that evil chicken outfit. Yeah, see, as you can see, that was my first time ever doing an offering. All right, that's the first inventory down, and we have nothing. Ooh, we got the boots. Our first unique at 131 is the boots. Let's go. Oh, we got the chicken top now. Got the wings. The chicken wings. Nice. So that's 2 uniques. We have 2 out of 4. That's 4 pieces. Let's go. We are just over half. He's just over half our eggs. Oh, got the helmet. That's 3 out of 4. Come on. We just need the bottoms. Let's go. Come on. Nice. No way. Okay, I didn't expect to get 3. Let's go. Oh, the clan chat's freaking out. Look at this. Oh, this one's pushed off. But we got the evil chicken wings, and then they're like, what? I got another one? Yeah, I told them how many eggs I had, and then instantly another head. Was that back-to-back inventories? I think one of the coolest updates is definitely the announcements in the clan. I'm in the Iron Refugee clan. I joined the clan for a clan v clan bingo a few months back. Just a casual like Ironman clan, because I'm more of a casual these days. I don't have the time to put in like huge hours and really compete. The dream of completing the full evil chicken in one sitting is not going to come true. No, that's it. That's all we got. 702 total offerings. And let's see what we have here. 3 out of 4 pieces now. Look at that. Look at that, we're a chicken. Alright, just to end off the video, let's go through the Slayer kill log. Aberdemons, we have 81,000 total. And you can see our streak, it says lots, that's cool. Yeah, a bunch of Dark Beasts, 4,400 of those. I always do that. Dust Devils, 47,000. Fossil Island Wyverns, 6,000. I didn't know I had that many, actually. I hadn't checked this in a while. 6,000 without having the Visage, the Wyvern Visage. Gargoyles, done like 2 tasks. Hydras, 20,000. Oh yeah, because I have 5 regular Hydra kills. Jellies, done 3,000 because I did some Konar. Karasks, did a bit of that. 84,000 Necreals total. Anything else noteworthy? 3,900 regular Skeletal Wyverns. 48,000 Smoked Devils. Before I go, I just wanted to take a second to thank everyone who has supported me over the past few years, despite my very sporadic upload schedule. It's people like you that continue to watch the entirety of every video and send kind messages in the public chat at the pond that keep me motivated to play and make videos. Also, comment below what your goals are for this new year. I'd love to read them, no matter how big or small. And is anyone else like way too lazy to put their angler outfit on? Or is that just me?